I got no drip in my pocket.
Coming closer. I have a secret that will make resolutions last all year. Okay, don't get too ahead of yourself. I have made a list of 3 things we can do to make resolutions last all year and that are effective. If you want to be on this ride just like me, continue watching. Mission possible. Where are you? This is a total judgment-free zone. It's alright, you can just say it. What happened to your resolutions this year? That's right. You completely forgot about them, right? You're back to eating your chips. You're nowhere near getting that gym membership. And you're back to that toxic ex that broke your heart like 3 times. I've got news for you kids. This is what happens every year. When I started to think about it, I was like, why do we have these expectations to become new people in the beginning of the year only to completely toss out everything that we expected to change about ourselves to be gone in like a week? Why did that happen? I sat down and I thought about it, and then that's when it dawned on me. I'm not a dessert person or have a sweet tooth, but this I can deal with. The first step is to segment your resolutions into categories, and what I mean by this is maybe it can go along the lines of physical health, mental health, spiritual health, finance goals, educational goals, and so on and so forth. But obviously, of course, you can have your own. After you've segmented your resolutions into categories, make sure you have a time so that it is actionable. Because saying you want to meditate is not giving you the incentive to do it at a certain time. You can meditate once a year and you're done with your resolution. So then we can move on to step number 2. So the reason why resolutions fail is because they're not automatic, which means they're not habits. We are so used to making resolutions in the beginning of the year, but because they are in the beginning of the year, we tend to forget because we don't incorporate it into our daily routine. So if we were going to dive a little more specifically, what are habits? Habits are the way that the brain increases its efficiency. The brain conserves its energy to focus on other tasks rather than the things that come automatically to us, like brushing our teeth, which we should do every day. I mean, I don't know what kind of lifestyle you live, but if you're not brushing your teeth every single day, I don't know what to tell you. It takes approximately 66 days for a habit to be part of our routine. So that's approximately 2 months? Yeah. If you pick your nose for 66 days straight, consistently, one day you might find yourself with a finger in your nose and you might wonder why. So all of the learnings that I'm going to be mentioning to you today has been extracted from this book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's hard to create a habit because we constantly get discouraged by the progress that we have. As you can see in this chart, progress is not linear. You often get faced with a lot of disappointment, which Clear calls the valley of disappointment. There are times where in the middle we don't see the results that we want and we end up giving up. But if we are consistent enough with our habits, or trying to create one at least, we will see progress, but you have to be consistent with it. So in order to get out of this valley of disappointment, Clear has strategized some ways on how to form a habit. The first way is to make it obvious. Most of the time, our habits are so embedded into our routine that it becomes essentially invisible. The only way to be able to change a habit is to be aware of them. The best way to start is to write down a mental list of the habits that we have. For example, in the morning. In order to create a new habit, you have to be aware of the habit that you want to create. And he suggests you do this through implementation awareness, where you will say out loud, I will do blank at this blank location at this time blank. So when you are able to say this to yourself, you are directing your mind to follow with what you just said. The best way to do this within this law is to habit stack. The way that you habit stack is to create a new habit with one that already exists. So for example, if I want to meditate every single day and my habit is to sleep, it should. Say that my habit is to go to bed at 11 o'clock every night. So instead of going to bed just at 11, I will put on a meditation track for 10 minutes right before I go to bed. And when I habit stack sleeping with meditation, it will become part of my routine. And let me tell you, it is very effective. So habit stacking doesn't only work with one, it can work with multiple habits. One habit can inspire the next, can inspire the next, can inspire the next. But keep in mind that don't try to create an entire routine just like this. Try to habit stack one at a time until it becomes automatic to a point that you don't need to think twice. It also becomes part of routine. The second law is to make it attractive. Let's be real here, our brains are kind of horny for pleasure, and I don't mean in the sexual kind. We derive a lot of the pleasure from not only what we can get, but when we can anticipate it. So when you make a reward, aka a habit, look very attractive to you, the more likely your brain will compel you to do it. So one of these techniques is called temptation bundling. Temptation bundling is linking an action with what you want to do, with what you need to do. If you like to watch Netflix just like me, for example, you go to the gym, but you get to watch Netflix shows. Just imagine you're on the treadmill, something that you hate to do, but you can watch a Netflix show. Your brain feels excited to watch the Netflix show that you want to while getting the exercise it needs. Or, for example, if you like to watch Netflix, you can watch Netflix while folding your laundry. Your brain will start associating that need to do sector with something that is more attractive. The third way is to make it easy. Okay, listen here. Ever since the rise of TikTok, ever since the rise of the internet, everything is way too easy for everybody. But that has just made our brains very lazy. And as a result, our brains have become more inclined to want things quicker. We are more likely to do an action if it's easy to do rather than something that's more complex. The way that this law would look in real life is like putting out your workout clothes on your bed before you wake up in the morning to go for your run. If you have to think about what workout outfit that you want in the morning, you are less likely to go to the gym, let's be real. At the end of the day, we are making it easy for our brains to function so that we can incorporate new habits into our daily lives. The last one is to make it satisfying. Ooh, what does that mean? Ooh, I don't know. What James means by this is to have a positive environment. To join a support group that is related to the resolution that you want to achieve this year, for example, maybe an investment group, a spirituality group where you sit there and take ayahuasca or something. So anywhere where you have a group of people that have the same goals as you do, you can help each other grow as a community together. Another way to do this is to have a habit tracker. I personally don't have a habit tracker. I can track myself. You are able to click off every single day of something that you've done to achieve and be closer to that resolution that you want to achieve this year. There's no better satisfaction that I get as a dysfunctional clean person than it is to click or take off something on my to-do list. Your brain will be rewarded by that validation that you at least did it. Track your progress. Make sure that you have something to look back on so you can rate your little accomplishments, no matter how small they are. If you want to know the perfect way to have a positive reinforcement, download Duolingo. That death owl will notify the shit out of your phone. Incorporate all the laws into one thing together, so by the time that you are making it easy, making it obvious, making it satisfying, making it attractive, you have then completed creating a habit. The last thing that you need to do is to be accountable. No one wants to be accountable of the fact that you stole her ex, Susan. No one wants to be accountable that you murdered someone, George. When it comes to creating a habit, being accountable is the only way that you'll be able to track your progress. If the habit isn't consistent enough, go back to the strategy and see what isn't working. You have to reflect on what is working, what isn't working. When creating a resolution habit, let's call it that, resolution habit, don't overwhelm yourself by doing all of it at once, because I think that's one of the problems that happens when we are creating our resolutions. We attempt to do all of the things that we want in our list and we end up getting burnt out emotionally. Do it step by step. Because it takes approximately 66 days to create a habit, try choosing one thing that you want to change in your life. One thing that you can make into a habit, and do it consistently for 2 months. And remind yourself that even though you might fall off the wagon once, don't miss more than twice, because you are creating a new habit, which is not to do it. Consistency is key when creating a habit, because all you need to do is commit to yourself for 2 months. Can you do that for me? 2 months? If you're not gonna commit to that girl, at least commit to yourself. Committing to yourself is the only relationship that you'll ever have, because committing to that girl is never gonna happen, right? And also remind yourself, what are you doing this for? Are you gonna be one of those people that just say that you have a resolution the first week of Jan, and then the second week of Jan happens and you're ready for this year to end? Are you gonna say the same thing to yourself every single year? It requires a little bit of mental strain, a little bit of consistency, a little bit of commitment to yourself, guys. A little bit of commitment to yourself. If you do this long enough for it to become a habit in your daily life, you're set. And all you have to do is keep building and keep building and keep building, Bob the Builder style. You'll thank me. You'll thank me. I expect to thank you. Or Venmo me $100. I think it'll save a life. I hope your resolutions last all year, and make sure you come back to this video, share this video, give it a thumbs up, let me know if it helps you, and of course, it's Ria's world and you're just living in it.